Hey guys, Evans here from Seeing You Fit. Super excited to share with you guys this quick recipe on how to make some cod right out of the some air fried cod, as well as some sweet potato fries. So I have my videographer Diane in the background helping us out. I figured while I'm making the cod, I can also do a little bit of meal prep for the rest of the week as well. And what we've been hearing often is any comments there,
You can continue.
Post it. Working on teaching. There we go. I see Katie saying that she needs an air fryer. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. So one of the things you want to do is just turn it on. So you're ready to go. You just close it and you put on an air crisp and start. So I have about 2 pounds or so of cod in here, and I have some potato flour. It's one of my seasonings with it in there. Maybe can you go and put the things in? And so potato flour is just a really thin flour that potato starch, my bad. It's a really thin flour that you can use. So what I'm going to do is actually just pour some of it in here. The amount, just enough to coat the fish, so I'm not really hyper concerned with it. The way I'm going to figure out how much I actually use, let me show you how I do that in a moment as well. So what I'm going to do is, like right now it's 162 grams. So that's how much I have that I created. Don't worry about me. I'm just going to write that down on the sticky. And whatever I have left over, that's how much I know I actually use. So 162 PS for the potato starch. And then I have this fresh cod. I went to Canyon, Wyoming Market, grabbed me some cod. And I'm just gonna, it's already fully deboned, which is really awesome. And then I'm just gonna slice it, cut it up, in pieces. So that looks great. That'll just be like one little piece here. And then this big boy can make probably 3. So, nice. Beautiful. And I already know exactly how much it weighs for those who are tracking the macros exactly, because it weighs 1.82 pounds. So I already know that exactly. I can also convert that right in here by just weighing it on top of this. I can zero out the scale, so now I'm at 0. And as I put this in, I'll know exactly how much I have going on in there. So then I have this another nice, beautiful piece here. I did feel a little bit of I thought I felt a little bit of thing in there, but I guess not. So cut this right down the middle, and then similarly, just nice size. I don't have to be perfect with it. Now, one thing I love about cod is that one, it has decent flavor, in of itself. Most times when you go places and you get like fish and chips, it's cod that you're eating. What I love is that it's super low in fat and it's high in protein. So it's a great option for people. I've heard people say, "Oh, I'm just so tired of eating chicken." And the reason why chicken breast is such a staple in the fitness realm is because it's a great way to get protein in without adding a ton of fat in there. So so some boneless, skinless chicken breast is popular. But I do get people that say, "Hey, I want a little more variety in my diet." So what are some options? So I have my cod here. I like to season it first. So I'll throw some seasoning. So what I'm using here, I actually got this right from what's it called? Canyon, Wyoming Market. They have the seasoning. What it has in here, I think I didn't post what's in the seasoning or what's already there. But just some sea salt, some garlic, some basil, some rosemary, black pepper, nutmeg. So it's a ton of cool stuff. And I like to make sure there is seasoning on my food. So I'll just knock this out. What's awesome about the air fryer is that it's already, it's ready to go already. I already have the notice saying, please add food. And I'm going to show you some tips to get some real good color on your food as well. I actually made this, I thought it was going to last the whole weekend. It lasted Friday night. So nice, good flavor. seasonings on here. You can rub it if you want. That's pretty good. And then I'm gonna come in and just roll it in here just like this. But now, because I'm tracking everything I eat, what I am going to do is I'm going to actually put all of the cod in just so I can see how much it all weighs. So I'm looking at about $7.95, and that's going to make a difference when I go into the recipe component in my fitness pal, just to be able to know, okay, how much, do I have? So, cool. So I got this nice, beautiful piece here. You go, Evans, how much, what ends up that you wind up maybe having about a teaspoon and a half worth of potato starch on there. So it's like 10 grams of carbs, if not less, in each one of these. So for someone who has, who can afford it, most people can. 10 grams of carbs is not going to throw your meal plan off. If you're hyper concerned, you do a ton of vegetables. But we're going to actually do some sweet potato fries as well. So got this in here, shake off some of the excess, and these last two pieces, we're good to go. So it's going to take 10 minutes, right? So I'm just going to walk through here real quick. So feel free to ask questions. I'll answer some questions as well. You guys have a couple questions in here. So the air fryer is here, ready to go. And I'm going to spray it just to prevent that sticking, because I want to be able to pick up cod, and when it's fully cooked, it's nice and flaky. So just want to prevent that. And then I just layer down. So beautiful pieces. They don't want me to start this a little early, but I was like, no, I'm committed to making sure you guys see the start and the finish in here. So got it laid in. I'll just do these other pieces on the back end. Now, one important thing to do is to actually spray it. So use that olive oil spray, get it on there really, really well. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow it to fry on the other side and create really nice color. If you don't do this, you're going to get pale looking fish. It tastes great, it's just going to look pale. And we want that nice, almost battered crust look. So definitely don't want to do 20 minutes. So let's take this down to 10 and roll. So now that we have the fish in there, I'm going to show you, well, let's see how much we actually use total. So we can zero this out again. And we're at 37, well, this, hold on. So we're at we have 162 that we started with, and went down to negative 40 grams, negative 40. So we use a total of 40 grams total on this in here. So I know I use 40 grams of potato starch. I got a ton left over, so kind of probably overeat on it, but it worked out very well. So I have this here ready to go. That's cooking, and I'm going to make some burgers. Why? Because I love burgers. So I got some 90-10 ground beef. I'm just going to move this out of the bowl. Actually, keep this here. Got some 90-10 ground beef. And I don't need a lot of seasonings for burgers. Typically, I can just do a burger with some salt, some black pepper, and I am good to go. Some people like using some onion powder with it. It's a great option. What else I like to do is prepare multiple things at one time, so meal prep is done in a very short period of time. So here, done, and then all I'll do is stick to sort of rhythm and system to help me get 4 ounces of meat in. So sometimes I do things in grams. Burgers, I do like to do in ounces. I'll just do 4 ounces of burger, and then I'm going to show you how I use this guy. I just need to find a piece for it to do it, and I can press out these nice thin burgers in here.
It might be.
First swirl. Beautiful. Talk about what we're doing. Utensils. So cool. So I got the burger. I have a couple options. What I'm going to do is just put all of it into one container and season it all at one time. To kind of save me some time. Any comments or questions on that side?
No question.
Cool. So this is a great way to do some stuff. Now I went to and I got a bunch of ground beef, and I may not eat all of it at one time. Well, not at one time, of course. It's 5.3 pounds of ground beef. So I'm definitely not eating it all at one time. What I meant was that I may not need to cook it all at one time. So one of the things I'll do is just make all my patties. Therefore, when I'm ready to cook, it's almost like buying, frozen patties, but this is like fresh, ground beef, which is really good. So got it pretty well seasoned in here. I'm never really concerned with under seasoning it because I can always add something at the last, when I take it to eat it. So my first goal is just to get a bunch of 4-ounce balls, 4.3, really close. 3.9, we're gonna let that guy go. So that's one there. Let's just do a couple of these here, more. And I actually have a scooper. And my half a cup scooper typically gives me kind of funny how that works. It's not a normal thing, but it does. Since I don't see them, so scooping in the split. So that's 3 ounces in there. And what I like to do is, however I weigh and measure my food is the way I track my food. So if I track it, if I like this, I'm weighing and measuring raw. So when I go to my fitness pal, I'm just going to grab ground beef 90-10, and then I know I can do that raw. But if I track it like cooked, then I put it in as cooked in there. Just so you know, 3 ounces of, 3 ounces of, 4 ounces of, thank you, baby girl, of cod does turn out to like 25 grams of protein. So it's a really good source of protein. People struggle getting the protein in, but are looking for something with a little bit more, variety or change in there. Yeah, beautiful. This is 8, almost 8 ounces. That's perfect. And then you just put it. Beautiful. So I'll do this, but I'll show you guys what I do. I take this and I put it in here, which is kind of cool. And then what I do is just smash it. So it gives me like a perfect burger every single time. And therefore it can cook evenly, I can sear it really well, and build my burger. Now on the back end, what I have going on is my oven's already preheated at 400 degrees. So what I'm gonna do is just pan fry the burgers really quick on high heat, like super high heat, both sides for 2 minutes, and then I'll put it in. I like my burgers medium rare. If you like it like longer than that, then you can definitely go in and put it in for longer than like 6-7 minutes. Myself typically do like 6 or 7 minutes, and it gives me a nice burger medium rare. Of course, I'm not, a chef on a show needing to tell you, have it at 100 X degrees. I think medium rare is 135 degrees, and then like well done is like 160. So I typically don't like it to go all the way to well done, because I'm not eating it. Well, I don't like well done, period. But I'm not eating it right away either. So when I reheat it, I want it to, still be juicy and delicious. So that's just how I'm making my burgers here. Like a perfect burger. This little, I don't know what it's called. It's called just a Cuisinart burger maker kind of thing. So it's a great way to get great looking burgers. I think we have like 2 minutes left on or 3 minutes left on the fish here, and the fish is done. So I like to fit so many burgers in my pan. So I'm gonna I have to wait for the pan to get hot. The pan's getting hot, I'm waiting for the burgers. The other component that we like to add to this chip side. Right? So what I do with the chips is use sweet potatoes and make sweet potato fries. I'm going to use this here. Again, you can use just regular potato. I actually bought some white sweet potatoes. So I saw it in the British Junction a little bit earlier. So I'll actually do some white sweet potato fries as well. Sweet potatoes just have a little bit more nutrients and regular white potato. But either one will work just fine. So this guy, and we are good to go. What I love about potatoes is that whatever you see that needs to be cut off, it does. Unlike some other things where, like if you see a little thing here, it's like teeth inside. And so then I just make wedges. So split this in half. Beautiful.
Mom was wondering if you had multiple air fryers.
My mom? No. Oh, okay, your mom. Yeah, I do. I didn't even think of that. I do have 2 air fryers, so I could have. Nice. Close this and drop a bunch of sweet potato wedges. So I did have multiple air fryers, so if I was thinking about it, what I could have done is plug the other one in and have the fries going at the same time that the cod was going, and the fries would be almost done by now as the cod is done. But the highlight is really the cod, so whoever's waiting for those fries will just have to wait a little bit longer. I can hear my pan is ready, so I'm just going to drop these in. How do you know it's ready? As soon as it touches in, it should make that sound. If it's not making that sound, it's not ready. So cool. So then I just have these little wedges going, and they're great. You dump them into a little bit of hot sauce and ketchup if you want to do that, or if you don't, just enjoy it. But it'll cook out really, really well. I made some yesterday, and yeah, they only last 2 days. Well, some lasted today, but I didn't go too far after that. So beautiful. So now we can afford this to go a little bit longer, but it is cooked through. Let me get something to. I can use a spatula. I haven't used it. You guys can see what that looks like. But it's like a beautifully crusted. Can you guys see that? Can you see it? Okay, beautifully. Beautifully crusted piece of cod in here. So then I need to get something to put your food on. And everybody likes things different, right? They saute some vegetables during this time frame, you know, and they can have some vegetables with the cod. So this is perfect. Actually, I'm gonna make it go a little bit longer just because it's well cooked. I just want the here you go, Diane. You can taste this. But what I want is that higher crust. Go ahead. So you can come on the show. This is our video producer right here. You can't see you yet. You gotta come over. There she is. Cool.
It's really good.
It's really good.
It's hot. It's really good.
Full deal. So we're gonna put that food, we'll add it. So we're gonna let it go for like just 1 or 2 more minutes. And the reason why you do not want to overcook fish. You don't really want to overcook anything. You don't want to overcook fish. Just 1 or 2 more minutes just to get that extra little bit of lemon on there. So we got a bunch of fries prepped, and I can literally throw them in right now if I want to feed Dana, or I can put the rest of the fish in right now. Because I want to feed Dana, I'm going to put the sweet potato right in there. Now, my other stuff should be done, so we can just burgers. Yep, they're done. Now, this time, burgers do have more fat in it than than your like fish and things like that. So it may get a little smoky as that is cooking. And I just use the timer on here. Let me know when 2 minutes are up, so I don't have to worry about it. When the timer goes off, I flip it, 2 more minutes, boom, right into the oven. And you can do all kinds of fun stuff, right? So you can do them as wedges, like this here. And then also, like I'll do some slices here, and just give it another shape for the sweet potato. But they're great. You can put them in the fridge when you're done. And you can eat on them later on. You know, so it's a great, great way to get it in. You cut this piece off, everybody wants to eat the end of it. Split it in half. And do some more wedges. So lots of versatility in there. Now, honestly, with the sweet potato fries, we've tried to seasoning it, not seasoning it. For the most part, once it's done, you don't have to put anything on it. Maybe just a little bit of salt if you're a salty person. If you're a sweet person, you can add a little bit of 0-calorie sweetener. But honestly, or some cinnamon. That's a great idea. Some cinnamon on there. But honestly, we don't add much anything. I just eat it. The crust that it creates is really, really good. So there you go. Your cod is done. Now what should I do now? Should I finish all the cod since I'm in that round? Or should I go and just throw the sweet potatoes in there? Oh, this is beauty. Again, what I love about it is that I still haven't added any fat calories. Not that fat is bad, but I still haven't added any fat calories, so I can still, look at that. That's a beautiful plate. Here we go. I'll show you that plate. Look at that. That's some good color, beautiful looking sweet potato, cod. That's our milk. I'm gonna flip. This gives your burger this nice, crusted, exterior to your burger. 2 more minutes, and I can just drop it right into the oven. And then I have 4 burgers done. So the cod's done now. What do you want, Dana? Do you want me to make more of the cod or sweet potatoes?
Both.
Well, do you want? I gotta. Cod. Okay, finish it up. So finish it up. It's only 10 minutes. Well, just so I'm not on a marathon with them, I'll put the sweet potato fries in. And then you can also have your sweet potato fries. Again, you can cut them thin if you want them thin, you can cut them thick if you want them thick. Really your preference. But I like the whole rustic, not have to all be perfectly done like in a fast food place. I think you get to enjoy it a little bit more. Who said that?
You should have a taste test table outside your house.
Yeah, drive by pickup when you come to that'd be fun. So yeah, so that's going. By the time this is done, you'll be ready to go. And this goes in the oven. Timer off. Oh, just so you guys can see the color of this stuff, though. Look what these burgers look like. So beautiful.
That's in the oven?
Yeah, now it goes in the oven.
You just sear them on both sides?
You sear on both sides, and then
Feels like I'm on network, Food Network.
So it's definitely warmed up some in here, that's for sure. And then while I'm waiting for this to be done, what I'm going to do, thank you, is finish up the burgers. So I'm looking for my 4 ounces in here. I don't know my half a cup measure is. If I did, it'd make this go by a lot faster. Let me check 1 minute. And that's down 1, but yeah. So this, what I can do now, if this works, I have to measure 1 time, and then I know what I'm working with. So back in there, Pretty good. On 4.4. There we go. Just pinch a little bit off. I'm good to go. So now that I know what I'm working with, all I have to do is continually just use this, and I should be good to get in my my burgers. One, beautiful. The biggest challenge with using volume-based things versus a scale is that it's like it depends how tight you pack it determines what happens. So that's the biggest challenge, with something that's volume-based versus just using the scale itself. Okay, cool. So yeah, this is another one to verify. What's up, babe? Oh, I didn't set a timer, so I know that was it. You see that plate of food that's being snuck out? I'm just taking it. Dana's coming in, taste testing it, verifying the flavor profile. Let me know if I need to add a little bit more seasoning to it.
Nope, perfect.
Okay, cool. It's hilarious. The plate like slides away and comes back.
Hungry.
Huh? Now, what I like about pressing down that burger is that you don't get that like ball burger, so it fits perfectly into your pan as well. I mean your bun, if you use bun or bread, but this gives you that nice, burger flavor versus like a meatball. Like if you try to like do this, that turns into meat, But once we press it, it gives you that nice tight burger, and then you can actually turn around and freeze it if you want to. So you're like, oh, I'm not ready to cook all this. You can do this one time and freeze it, and next time you do meal prep, you just pan fry it, go in the oven for 7 minutes, and in 11 minutes you have a burger.
So you can take it right out of the freezer. You don't need to thaw it out.
Nope, you just fry it. Yeah, in the oven it'll cook the outside. The purpose of the outside is just to, and the same way you throw right on the grill frozen. The purpose of the
Your meat pre-seasoned.
yes, I season all this at one time. Therefore, when it's time to go work with this again in the future, I don't have to, worry about it. So now my meat is almost done, and I have burgers done. I have fries done, and I have chicken done. I mean fish done. Keep on saying chicken because everybody was like, "Give me something outside of chicken. I need something else." But it's a great source. Very low in protein. I mean, very low in carbs. You're probably at 5 grams of carbs. So look at as light as it is here. To do it, and we should be good. So the last piece is nice. For those who track, weigh, and measure everything, what you just do is take that 795, that minus out that 210 that we had left over, and then add, from that, that's, you weigh this out, and the calculator, you can just say this is your portion. And I can do a separate thing on that. Super a little complicated to explain, just visually, but it's an easy way to get it in. And honestly, another cheat, instead of doing all that, you can literally just put this in on the scale, weigh it, and go, I had this, and in my fitness pal, you can actually just add carbs. So you can just say, I'm gonna add 5 carbs, 5 grams of carbs. Boom. I'm gonna add X number based on the size. So it's an easy way to do it versus the complicated, develop a recipe and everything in there. Sweet potato fries, still going, looking good. So 1 more minute left, and then we can take out the burgers. And I try to use my clocks and timers and everything else. We're just trying to remember how much everything is. So literally, you guys are watching this with meal prepping, and I mean, we're not eating this many burgers this week, so I don't think so. But you'll be able to see how we get it all done in a relatively short period of time. Yesterday, I did the same thing with chicken. I just cooked a bunch of chicken at one time, and then it's done. And then I have burgers, chicken, fish, and I have options for the week. You do see that like two 2 pounds of fish, may last a regular person a couple days. If you have a family of 4, semi-adults, then it's not going to last, more than a day. You know? So it's not going to last that long with all 4 of us, in here. But for someone who's on their own, 5 pounds of beef may last you quite a while, and that's why you want to prep it, like the way I'm doing it here, and then you freeze it, and then you just use what you have. So, let's check in this last one here. Beautiful. Nice. So, yep, so they're all about 4, 4.1, 3.9, all about the same. Burgers are done. Big trick with burgers to let them sit for for about 5 minutes prior to digging into them. It allows the meat to kind of close up and rock your juices inside. That's just like a little, burger tip. Same thing with your steaks and stuff. When you're done cooking your steaks, just let it sit. Don't cut into it right away. If you do that, all the juices go out and it can dry your steak up. So you don't want. So, and this is a little like leftover tiny bit. So, what I do now is put it in, press down, and spin. If I had a bigger one, I could put multiple in here at the time. But burger, creative. I love it. Super convenient. And then when it's time to use them, actually, I can put it right here, just layer it for future use. So one thing I do, so we're wrapping up here. One thing I do is I'll come in and I'll check. So if you guys can see in here, make sure you can actually see on the inside of that. Yeah. So if you can see in here, the sweet potato looks like pseudo done, but it's on one side. So what I like to do is come in and mix it up. I'll just use my hands right now. But I'll do is I'll just turn it so that it gets like crispy on both sides, not just one side. I grilled some steaks in here yesterday. They turned out really good. And then I did some pan fried. You can like pan sear steak easily and put it in the oven, and then it turns out well. So boom, close that. The way that felt, it doesn't even look like it's going to use all that time to get the pieces complete. So we'll add some more in there, finish it up. So that should be done in like 3 or 4 minutes. I'm gonna have Dana come and test the consistency of this for me in a couple of minutes. So we have Van and Dana on here. Oh, the sweet potatoes.
Oh, the filling.
Yeah, they're almost done.
It's just trash.
That's my trash thing. I'm gonna chop some vegetables, maybe not with them. I'm gonna chop some vegetables. No, I'm gonna I guess I am. Sure. And also, if you also like a fish that doesn't stink up your house and smell fishy, I'd also always do one too. So some people's like, oh, I'm not a big salmon person. We like salmon in this house.
Love salmon.
But sometimes it's like, okay, I don't have those salmon fat calories available. What are my other options? The salmon is higher in fat. No, don't turn it off.
Share.
Oh, that's it. Just look bad on the video.
That looks awesome.
This is real life. I show you the cooking network where you got a cleaning crew coming out. This is real life. So good stuff. So if you could open that up and just take out one. Mm-hmm. Take out one and see if it's cooked well enough for you. The biggest thing is the inside has to be done. The outside is going to look done out the gate.
Tess, if you could bend it, gonna eat.
Make sure you blow it so you don't have to do it.
Dip in ketchup, it's cooler. Do you want me, you want this up?
Yes, you can keep it up, you can take it out, put it on the plate.
Awesome.
And then you can actually
What?
eat from your dish. Eat from your dish.
Oh,
How is it?
Good.
it's yummy. Everything you mix is yummy.
So I gave you
I was on there for like a minute long.
a minute longer.
I'm gonna say like it.
Okay, but if it's snapping, you know it's not cooked. But you do want to do that from there. But yeah, the biggest thing I think when it comes to meal prepping is cooking everything in bulk. You can always weigh and measure, like when you make a meal plan for that day or for the following day, just weigh and measure what you use. But you know, I cook everything in bulk and have a system. If I know I'm gonna get a burger, I already know it's 4 ounces. Easy. For the fish, I don't know exactly what it is. So you know, with ground meat, I can formulate it to what I want. With the fish, I'm cutting up, so it's going to be subjective. So I'll weigh it in there, and then I'll just plan the rest of my food around it. You know, somewhere else I can add a little bit more protein, minus a little bit more carbs and things like that. I wasn't fine on that. Mm-hmm.
That's for all of us?
Yeah, well, we can make some more as well.
Yes, you can.
You see how that we turned into you?
Sunday nights are my cleanup, so I have dishes, so that's my.
That's my contribution.
Yeah.
You cook, I clean.
Yes.
Totally. So, like the weather's getting great, you can do this kind of stuff, and then just go out to the grill and boom,
It's Memorial Day.
drop it on the grill, and that's super easy to do. That's done by now. And you open it up, please. And you that way?
Yeah, the tongs are in there.
It's all right. The original tongue for your finger. See, another dish I have to wash. Conspiracy.
I'll wash that one.
Wash that one.
That one.
Right. And these, I can put these in
You
here.
just put those right in there.
I'm learning how to use
So yeah, I love it. So a phenomenal tool.
That's
I
why I
was
bought
supposed
it
to be
for
posting comments, but instead she's eating,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So we're gonna
Just taste testing again, just to make sure.
double taste test on the cod. So let's make a plate real quick so they can see the fish and chips. Make yourself a plate.
Sure. Oh, I'm not gonna drop food. That's me.
Now she had a sample before and they feedback.
Ooh,
When the
I took
plate
out a piece.
oh gotcha.
I'll make my plate look really pretty.
Now of course you can add some more vegetables to it. This is a great, you know, tool. Sometimes people struggle getting all their carbs and they're looking for carb options. Sweet potato fries, easy way to get your carbs in. And then you can add other veggies on top of that as well. You know, so you can saute some vegetables, things like that to help you, you know, get the total amount in. But you know, a lot of times some people have challenges consuming like gluten and things like that. Well, bread is not the only way you can get your carbs in, or what other way to get your fiber in. Yams, sweet potatoes, pretty good sized source of fiber as well. Burger, I bought peppers, onions, carrots, tomatoes. No, I
There's
bought
some in the fridge.
There's some spinach in the fridge. And there's also romaine lettuce in the fridge. So if you wanted to make like a wrap and you didn't want to do a wheat or corn-based wrap, you can use the romaine lettuce as a way to hold it together in there. So that's always a good, you know, little thing. So we're just waiting for Dana to play.
I'm making my plate.
And then we are done. Let me really set the time on this. So there's a 5.
They do look nice and fancy. Like you're truly at a restaurant.
Man. Last thing is plate food. Oops. Can you see that plate clearly? Look at that. There you go. Look at the color on that bad boy. That is beautiful, Dana. Thank you. You're an artist. So awesome stuff, guys. Just wanted to share that with you. Hopefully that added some value and helped you out with some ideas. And simplicity is the name of the game. A lot of times for those that are not comfortable cooking, a technique maybe just to find something that's a seasoning like this here that gives you everything you need in it, and then you can just, boom, drop it on there, and it gives you all the seasoning and flavor you need. So thanks again. Love you guys. I'll see you later in the week. I have some really fun topics that we'll be talking about. So talk to you guys in a bit. Bye-bye.